It's so interesting how when I read into different collectives, I get such different notes. And tuning into your energy right here and now, I feel so like calm and soft and open, which is so beautiful because it's a receptive energy, it's an allowing energy. My throat chakra is tightening up a little bit, tuning into the field of the people watching here. So there is a little bit of just like becoming more comfortable, like expressing a more secure version of yourself, like what that feels like, what that looks like, and you trusting that version of yourself more so by continuing to step out and to allow yourself to be seen in this new, more healed version of yourself. Okay, let's get some cards and see what the divine field has to say. You've been doing so much wonderful work. I know that it's felt a little solitary for some of you. Like you've had to be the one to heal yourself, your own wounds. It does feel like you're a hopeless romantic, not hopeless, hopeful. It feels like you've always been hopeful and optimistic around love and exchanging love and experiencing that and sharing that with like the right person or the right connections. It doesn't just have to be romantic love, but there is a romance in the field where I don't know, it just feels like maybe in the past you haven't been met in that energy fully. And so you've just been cultivating a lot of that on your own, which is valuable in and of itself. And it's not dismissive of actual love anchoring and grounding in the right way and meeting you. It's just an evolution of it because you've been evolving yourself out of sort of old programming that stem from childhood, okay, with this Page of Pentacles. So you've been doing a wonderful job tending to your inner child and even to your inner teenager, right? A lot of work that you've been doing on your own. So let's see where that goes. Where does that go, Spirit? Where do we go from here? I'm seeing Hollywood Tower of Terror in my mind, or like Walt Disney World, Disneyland, something like that's coming through here. What's coming through for the person finding this message here? So much of this journey for you has been coming out of fight or flight, coming out of internal conflict with yourself, feeling more safe in your own body, being who you are, letting all of you express itself. But it feels like you've been getting more comfortable with who you are just for yourself and letting that be a very personal, sacred experience. So wherever your higher self has led you, whatever that looks like, whatever your external reality is looking like at this time, it's been in service of feeling into who you are in your most regulated, organic state, and then becoming aware of anything outside of you that's not organically you, that's not a match vibrationally for you. So that can talk about food, anything that we're interacting with, people, movies, music, books, etc., spiritual information. It's like what lands and reinforces the safety that I'm establishing for myself, and what is sort of rubbing, and where am I still sort of allowing that to like, where am I still inviting that into my energy? Does that make sense? So just feeling into that more so, where you're choosing where there are still programs that are choosing something that causes inflammation in the body, in your energy, in your mind, and just continuing to move through and like burn off that excess that's unnecessary moving forward. Again, big process energy. It's totally an organic process of becoming more clear in the self. That's really what this is. And just like bearing witness to this clarification with less judgment. And, even if we struggle in this process, it's the back and forth itself is an experience that holds information. And it feels bad enough that we then even on a unconscious level, choose this clarity. So, and in that clarity, your life force energy can flow more organically. You're showing up as this queen energy. But you may have had to actually integrate a more masculine discernment. And this isn't like harshness or rigidity, but this is a firmness in self. This is a knowing of the self, and again, reinforcing what serves the self and allowing what doesn't to burn itself off. But sometimes those things, like I said, burn themselves off through re-experiencing them viscerally. So, okay, what else wants to come through for the person finding this message? What else wants to come through for the person finding this message? Yeah, there's a lot of change happening for you that's going to involve getting out of your comfort zone in a way that might induce a little bit of anxiety, or just a little bit of like, oh my gosh, I'm really pushing my own edge here. And that being the only way to finally clear out some old density that is outdated and no longer relevant to the person that you've been growing into. So it's kind of like a final push, maybe a collapse of old ways of viewing yourself and of viewing life that are just residual from another version of you, and learning that the triggers, the things that activate us, the things that scare us, it's not negative. It's initiation, total initiation, okay, and total opportunity here into the deeper fulfillment that you've been asking for. So whatever's coming up and feeling a little crazy or a little activating or bringing up some fears or some negative thinking, scarcity thinking, etc., it's only coming up because you're moving into a version of yourself that you've never been. So it's not, you don't have to judge it, but you can be with it, and you can be honest with yourself, like, this feels crazy, this feels horrible, whatever. But it's also like, you've asked for, it's in service of what you've been asking for, ultimately, okay? Which is closing out old karma, coming into your own. It's a graduation into the next freest version of yourself. So what else is coming forward for the person finding this message? For the person finding this message, there's just so much ahead of you. There's so much ahead of you that you're not fully aware of. Like, the foundation is there. The foundation is set. And so much of what's coming in for you is very relational in nature, positive relationships that are meeting you in a lightness of spirit that you can trust, right? You don't have to project old relational pain onto these new relationships coming forward. You know, with certain connections that are showing up in your field, that may trigger up some fear or insecurity or old stuff. But again, it's just coming up to fall away. It's not reflective of the reality of the current situation or moving forward. Do you know what I mean? And it's all opportunity to leave the past behind you, absolutely, resolutely. Like, you're beyond, you're past the old version of you. And it's still okay to kind of be straddling that line between versions, between realities, holding both at the same time, and, you know, but it's in experiencing the duality of selves, in the, you know, the contrast, that you know who you're now becoming and who you no longer identify with as, and you're just becoming your true self, more of who you really are, and who you've always been and what you've always been. Okay, scarcity mindset being purged. It's good. It's good. You're cared for. You're safe. It's all, you can think of it as simulation, that your higher self is guiding for you at this time. It's just about seeing through the illusion of scarcity and knowing that you will be caught, you are taken care of, you are protected, and life is meeting you in goodness, in your own goodness. Because life and the people coming in, they can see you for who you really are, right? Which is someone who's kind, which is someone who is very human, someone who is a bright light. What else is coming through? And then we'll close this reading. Yeah, there's like a final purging of old attachment wounds, okay? And reinforcing boundaries. And I'm not saying this as an omen. This is just coming through the divine field is very matter of fact. It's just fact, like quantum truth is truth. We're very clearly looking at a collapse of old codependent energy, in place of sovereignty. So just pay attention to what's showing up for you sort of spontaneously. I mean, you don't have to look for it. It's going to come through either way. And it's the very thing ushering you into a new reality. And it's not saying you have to attach to the pain, the struggle, the difficulty. It's about letting go of that. But also viewing it as opportunity and not a negative thing, right? Because it's the very thing allowing for a healthier version of community, of connection, of collaboration, creativity, and healthier relationship with the counterpart field, with your own sense of stability, and having that be met in others as opposed to having insecure people around you constantly. The mirror is coming to match a level of solidness that you can trust and count on because you're trusting yourself. Again, these are high-level lessons that only someone of a spiritual fortitude can pass through, and it doesn't even have to be difficult. It can be uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be difficult, okay? It's all in service of the release of scarcity mindset. That's what it is. Again, divine gives us high-level lessons that go beyond what we want, what we're projecting, what we attach to. It's just, it's the wisdom of your higher self, okay? All about releasing and shedding what is not you, surrendering that to the light, okay? And trusting so heavily, even when this stuff triggers up, okay? You're so loved, you're so taken care of. If you want a personal reading on your situation, on your path, I would be honored to connect with you. I'm going to leave my email, solarfieldstudies@gmail.com, in the description below, and hope to talk to you soon. Bye.